Let's get to audience questions. We missed audience questions last week, right? Because of the mixed up schedule with the Farron Cousins stuff and all that.
Yeah, it's really a shame. I mean, we
It
got to have
is.
audience questions every single week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think the audience gets deprived of something.
They become irate, actually. You should see what happened to my inbox over the weekend. All right, first question is from Penny. Penny says, what would be actual ways to change the two-party duopoly in the United States? It's such a great question, but a lot of the things that need to change are sort of interrelated. So to make some of these changes, you kind of need to make other changes. But bigger picture, number one, we need to move in the direction of public financing of elections. That's something that needs to happen, ideally in combination with repealing Citizens United. I believe that ranked choice voting also is going to, if it ever happens, help break the two-party duopoly. That's where you can vote for your sort of first choice candidate, and then if they are not viable in a first tally of voting, you've already selected who your vote should then go to. And this is something that prevents the fear that many of us have if there were to be a not insane third-party candidate, and I'll talk about that in a second, that I wanted to vote for. If I were in a swing state, I would be scared to vote for them because I might be ultimately helping the Republican win, whereas I might prefer a third-party candidate to the Democrat. I don't want to do something that might actually make it more likely that the Republican wins, and ranked choice voting solves that issue. I also think that there's something too, and this is, I'm mentioning it like it's nothing, but it's such a major change to our political system. What about a parliamentary system where you actually see representation of parties in proportion to the vote that they get? Meaning, if you like the Green Party, and I'm not a Green Party guy, right? But if you like the Green Party, if the Green Party gets 4% of the national vote in all House of Representatives elections, we might decide 4% of the House of Representatives, which would be about 16 people, need to be from the Green Party, right? That is another way that you can start to chip away at the two-party duopoly, but that's clearly not going to be happening
Yeah,
anytime soon in the
that's a
United
pipe
States.
dream.
That's a pipe dream for sure. I also think, quite frankly, that you need to not have insane or unqualified third-party candidates, right? And I mean, if you go back to 2016, the most prominent third-party candidates were Jill Stein, who's a nut, and Gary Johnson, who had gaffe after gaffe and seemed generally confused to find himself on a stage being asked political questions, like he just stumbled upon running for president accidentally when he was trying to get his paper, the morning paper. So I think that you also need quality third-party candidates, and I think that sometimes it's good that there's a desire for third-party candidates, but I also think that it's important to apply we shouldn't lower our standards for a candidate merely because they're outside of the two-party duopoly, right? We want to still continue to have good, strict, high standards for them. Those are a few ideas, but this is not stuff that's going to likely change.
Yeah, I think if the two-party duopoly was to be shattered, it would have happened in 2016. Like, let's say Donald Trump was denied the Republican nomination
Oh, yeah.
because they had a brokered convention. He probably would have ran as a third party.
Yep.
Or if Bernie Sanders decided, instead of endorsing Hillary Clinton because I was robbed by the DNC, I'm going to run myself as a
Sure.
third party.
Sure.
Then there would have been a lot of support for either Trump or for Bernie.
Yeah, I believe it's pretty clear from the math that if Trump ran third party in 2016, Hillary would have won.
Yep.
If Bernie ran third party in 2016, Trump would have won probably the popular vote, actually, which he lost by several million votes. Either way, he won the electoral vote. So yes, and that's why you need the ranked choice voting, because it would solve that problem. It would say, well, I'm voting for Bernie as an independent. If he doesn't have enough votes to be president, then I want my vote shifted over to Hillary Clinton, for example.
I just think maybe that's what it would have taken to blow up the entire system, even
Yeah.
though, you know, supporting Bernie Sanders may have been the election of Donald Trump, or supporting Trump may have been the election of Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
If it's all for the sake of upending this whole two-party system that we have, it could have been a good thing.
I think there will be another opportunity. I mean, I think you're right that 2016 was a particularly interesting year for a third-party candidate to get 15% of the vote, 18% of the vote.
Didn't happen.
It didn't happen, though, because of the way that it shook out. Those are my ideas. Send me yours about ways to break apart the two-party system.